Saif, in an interview you did with me 6 years ago, you talked about one day directing a film.
Okay.
And you said it was going to be most likely something that was dark and edgy because you said my mind is graphically violent.
Yeah.
Now here you are taking your first steps towards creative control, but Love Aajkal is not at all edgy or dark.
Right.
Have you changed, or is romance just a more commercially viable option?
I think it's both of what you're saying. I think to a large extent, I mean, it's cool at a certain age to talk about being edgy and being graphic and being dark, but it's neither is it always the most healthy way to be, and neither does it always make necessarily for the most entertaining or interesting cinema for me anymore. I think there's a certain budget and there is a certain thing. I mean, I do like, or I used to maybe like more films, slightly darker films, but now I think more entertainment and generally happier stuff. I think I was just trying to be, trying to be cool earlier and just wanting to go off the beaten path, which is something that I've noticed. It's funny you say that, because I remember actors who used to say, and responsible and senior actors used to say while doing a film, if there would be a line in English, for example, like they'd say, should we change this to Hindi because we want people to understand? And I'd say, but I really like the English line because it's cool. And I used to think for minorities, because I was and am a minority. And I think the big change is that as a minority now we're thinking for the majority. I think that comes with responsibility and age and kind of looking at the larger picture. So I wouldn't want to be responsible for producing or something that's just selective unless the budget for that also is carefully considered.
You also said that turning producer was one way to give yourself roles that other people won't. So how do these two roles in Love Aajkal push the envelope?
I think the script, the screenplay pushes the envelope. With this Imtiaz script, without trying to give away the story, I mean, the things, a love story is interesting because of what happens to the couple. It's the pressures that keep them apart. In this film, it's about, a guy not being able to commit, which is kind of fresh and contemporary. It's a girl who's career driven, but also much more responsible and mature than him. She gives him his space. She wants him to know what he means, what she means to him, without pushing it in any way. It's so hard for me to discuss without giving the story away, but it does. The things that happen to them, I mean, the fact how they break up, the fact that they break up because of career, because of distance, the fact that how they come back together, whether or not she gets married to somebody else in the meantime. It's like an Ayn Rand love story. In many ways, it's like in the sense that it's like two people are on a path, and love defines the path, and their values and the decisions that they take are very strong decisions independent of each other. A girl follows her heart away from this guy, and the guy follows his heart away from the girl, and they both end up meeting, which I think is fascinating and strong. And the things that they go through on their own individual journeys are what I think is what's pushing the envelope. The sequence of events, the things they go through.
Anybody in the spot tonight?
You're in a very high-profile relationship.
Yeah.
In your personal life, has your personal life informed the narrative in any way?
No, I don't think so. I think part of every actor's life is trying to balance his personal life, his professional life. Sometimes it's difficult being on different continents shooting, but I don't think I have anything in common. I mean, a little bit.
Does an actor work harder when he's footing the bill?
Yes, but then it's unfair. I don't think we're not footing the bill. I think an actor would definitely work harder if he's footing the bill.
Tuba.com